Hello crafty friends, welcome to this January sketch challenge video. In my Facebook group this year, I'm going to be posting at the start of each month a new card sketch for everyone to follow should they wish to. And the idea is simply to use the sketch, create a card and then post a picture in my Facebook group. So if that's something you'd like to do, then feel free to take a screenshot of the sketch or download it from the link in this video's description, make a card, come to my Facebook group and share a picture of it. And in today's video, I'm going to make a card following the sketch. This is my entry for the challenge. And if you stick around to the end of the video, there's some photos of a second card based on this sketch that I made off camera. Right, let's get on with this card. So the first thing I did was take a panel of hammered textured white card and die cut a circle in the position of the large circle on my sketch. Because my idea for this card was to make a shaker. I wanted to give my aperture a bit of a frame, so I took the circle die I'd used to cut the circle, put it on a sticky note with a larger circle around it, and then die cut from another piece of hammered card, and that gave me a frame which I stuck around my aperture using some regular high-tack PVA glue. Next I flipped the panel over, ran some tape runner around the aperture and then put a piece of acetate on the back. And this is the window for my shaker card. To bump my panel up to give the shaker window some space for shaker bits to move around in, I used a piece of double-sided adhesive foam and I took that larger circle, the one I'd made the frame with, and die cut a circle from the foam. That just gave me a perfectly shaped piece of foam to go around my aperture and support the panel once I put it on my card blank. To make sure I got my foam stuck in exactly the right place, I just exposed a little bit of the adhesive at the bottom, lined up the foam around the aperture perfectly, then pressed the bottom down to get it to stick to the panel, and then I peeled off the rest of the release paper and pressed the foam into place. Next I took a card blank of hammered white cardstock and added a circular mask to it because I wanted to ink blend on my card blank so that you could see some colour through the aperture. But I didn't want to get ink around the edge of the card. I didn't want any colour to poke out from beneath the front panel. Thinking about it now, probably the easiest way to do this would have been just to put some strips of masking tape around the edge of the card blank. But I didn't think of that at the time. I just thought I needed a circle of colour. So let's cut a circle of masking paper and blend within the hole. I also put some sticky notes around the edge just to, again, to protect the exposed areas of card blank. For my colours, I chose Distress Oxides in Worn Lipstick and Dried Marigold, which are both lovely and warm and give me that celebratory feel that I was looking for. I started by blending on the Worn Lipstick and then just added a bit of a highlight in the Dried Marigold and then blended it all together with a bit more Worn Lipstick. Once that was done, I decided to really lean into the circle theme and chose a kind of grungy circular stamp and stamped all over the background in both of the colours. It's just for visual texture really, just to make the background really interesting. And then for shimmer and shine, I spattered on some gold metallic paint and then gave it a dry with my hairdryer before peeling off the masking and revealing the circle beneath. Off camera, I die cut some shaker elements. I've got gold glitter candles, copper glitter balloons and gold foiled swirly whirly confetti bits. And I put these all on my circle, making sure they were the right way up. I also added a bunch of gold foiled circles from my stash of little circles. Once I was satisfied with my collection of shaker elements, I removed the release paper from the back of my panel and stuck it onto the card blank. Now on the card sketch there are some smaller circles around the edge of the larger circle, and I decided to make these out of vellum because they overlap the big circle and I didn't want to cover up all the work that I'd done, and vellum is translucent so you should still be able to see some of the background and shaker bits through it. To make these sticky I put them through my Xyron sticker maker. That makes them sticky over the whole of their back, so that when you stick them down you don't see any adhesive showing through. I didn't want to leave them just like that though, so I put some worn lipstick on a piece of card and then die cut lots of flower shapes from the coloured card. I then selected 6 in different sizes, added a bit of dried marigold to the ends of the petals just to bring in some variation and bring some of that dried marigold to the foreground. I then assembled my flowers to give me 3 2-layer flowers. All I did was take a flower, dip it in some glue and then stick it on a larger flower. I then dipped each of these flowers into some more glue and then stuck them on the vellum circles. I did think about adding some maybe white leaves, but I decided there was plenty going on this card already, so I left them as they were. For my sentiment, I chose an Aperture Happy Birthday die, which I cut from a white card, and I backed it with some dried marigold coloured card so that the Happy Birthday was easy to read. I trimmed this out with a pair of scissors and then just stuck it down with some glue, but I did pop a couple of bits of card underneath the right hand side of the sentiment because the left hand side was sitting on top of the frame and the card panel, whereas the right hand side was just sitting on the acetate. So to keep it level, these 2 bits of card really help. For a finishing touch, I added some gold foiled circles to the centre of the flowers, and then I added some crystal glaze to those gold foiled circles to give them a bit of extra gloss and a little bit of dimension. And then as a final finishing touch, I took my tweezers and gently flicked the petals of the flowers up so they didn't look quite so flat, gave them a little bit of dimension. And that was this card finished. If you hang around for a few more seconds, you can see some close-up photographs of it. But as promised, here's another card that I made following the sketch. This time I didn't use circles, I used stars. For the large star in the middle, I used a stitched star die and then coloured the cardstock with some salvage patina distress oxide. I then wrapped some very fine silver thread all around it to give it some shimmer, some shine and some texture. I then cut 3 smaller stars and coloured these with peacock feathers. I stuck these down and then placed the salvage patina star on top. I used a Proud of You sentiment, which I backed with some matte silver card. And then I added some Nouveau drops, just dotted these around the stars to bring in a bit of texture, a bit of gloss, a bit of dimension, an extra bit of interest. You'll notice on both cards I didn't put the sentiment where the sentiment was on the sketch. I just went with the position that I felt it would look best in for each card. And here are the close-ups of the card that I made today. I do hope you've enjoyed the video and that it's tempted you to come along to my Facebook group and have a go at January's sketch challenge. And I do hope maybe it's given you some ideas of things you can do with the supplies and tools in your stash. If it has, please do let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and I'll see you back here very soon for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.